Hey guys, this is Eli Peters with Skinny Body Care. This is the second part of the two-part video series on how to create a unique looking banners for your business. Instead of having to sub that kind of workout, you can actually just create it yourself if you have the time to do that, or you can just sub it out. I like to create my own stuff just because I know I have my own personal touch on it and I can make it look how I want it to look. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing, we're in the web page maker right here. We're going to go ahead and click on this double A right here. This is going to be how you're going to create your text. So once I click on that, you'll see a little plus sign, and you click again and you'll see a little box that says double click to edit. Double click that box and then you'll see the screen come up where you can actually write your text. So I'm going to go ahead and start writing my text for the banner that I'm going to create. And since I'm in Skinny Body Care, this is going to be related to my business. It can be related to any business that you have. Again, this is a general video, but since I'm in this company, this is what I'm gonna be creating an ad for. So I'm gonna write Skinny Fiber has 3 natural plant-based ingredients that help you to lose weight. Okay, so that's going to be my text. You see you have some options right here. What I always like to do is highlight my text and then always make my text bold so it stands out. And then I want to change the color, so I'm going to go over to this first letter A right here and click on that and choose the color that I want. I like to use the color blue. And I'm also wanting to make this a little bit bigger instead of the 20 that I have. Let's see how it looks at a, not a 36, but let's see, 20, let's do 22. Okay, now it'll pop up in this little box. I'm going to take this arrow and stretch it out, and this is how it's actually going to look on the ad. Now that looks a little bit small to me, so I'm actually going to double click and I'm going to make that a little bit bigger, because remember, you want to make sure that your text is big enough for your prospect to read, or else so they don't have to squint their eyes when they're trying to read whatever you're promoting. You want to make it as easy and as simple for your prospect as possible. Okay, let's see, maybe I can make that just go up one more. Let's see how that one goes. No, we'll stay at the 28. And you're gonna have to play around with this, you know, to make sure that it gets the size that you're wanting for it to get. All right, so I have my first text. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upload some pictures. So I'm gonna go over to this little image icon right here. When you hover over it, it'll say image. Go to this little arrow here, click and click from files. Now this is where you're going to be pulling all your pictures from. Wherever you use the desktop, this icon right here to do your screen captures, and you uploaded it to that folder in your desktop, this is where you're going to be pulling those pictures from. So since I'm talking about natural plant-based ingredients, I'm going to show the actual ingredients of what I'm talking about. So let's see. That's going to be 1. That's going to be 2. And you want to make sure that your images are high resolution. Nobody wants to look at a blurry image because it just takes away from what you're promoting and it doesn't look real professional. So wherever you find your pictures, just make sure that those pictures are in high resolution so that they look, look nice when you're presenting them. So this is going to be my first image here. As you see, I'm just playing around with the stuff. I want to make sure that I have it lined up correctly. So sometimes you have to stand back a little bit and make sure that it is lined up right, just how you want it. So let me put that over here, and here, put this here, make that a little bigger. Probably just a little bit bigger. Okay, and make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Next, I want to describe what I'm going to describe the picture that I'm putting up here. So these are the plant-based ingredients. This is caralluma. This is glucomannan, and this is cha de verge. And I'll explain what those names mean. So the first one is going to be called Caroluma. Again, I want to make sure, I like to make sure my stuff is bold, and then I also like to put lively colors that stand out. Let's see, maybe 24, and we'll put asterisks. Let's see what size that comes out as. We can do that a little bit bigger. Maybe 28. Yeah, there we go. Alright, 28 is good. So that's called Caroluma. This one is glucomannan. Glucomannan. And I always try to put little asterisks just to make the words stand out a little bit more. And I always make sure that those letters are bold. And let's say I want to make this a red color. Because remember, I want to make my stuff engaging and lively and not just bland colors. And then this one is the Chat de Verge. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and that Chat de Verge. Let's put the asterisk. Again, make sure that it's bold. Now you can do this any way that you want to do it. I'm just doing it the way how I normally like to do it. I'm going to use pink this time, and we'll put that underneath this picture, stretch it out. There we go. Okay, and now I'm going to put a little synopsis of what these ingredients mean, because if somebody looks at this, okay, these names, they're not going to understand what these names mean. So I'm going to explain why these ingredients, they are plant-based, but I'm going to explain what each of these ingredients do in a quick synopsis. Again, this is just something that I'm doing on a personal level because I'm in this type of business. But you can create your image however you want to create it and make it say whatever you need it to make it say, however it's going to get across your message. Alright, so let's see here. Let's make that bold and make that blue. I might want to make that a little bit 26. See how that looks. Natural appetite suppressant. That's what that Caroluma does inside one of the ingredients. Next one, glucomannan, expands in stomach to make you feel full. Let's change that out and make that bold. I think that's going to have to be maybe a 22. I want to make sure that's a blue color. And again, you're going to come up with your own ideas on how you can create your images. Let's see. That's 22. 20. This here. Let's see, maybe 20. Let's see how that looks. Expands the stomach, and then this one here helps sustain energy. Helps sustain energy. Highlight that, bold, change it to blue, because I like some uniformity in some of the colors that I'm creating here. How did I put those on? Helps sustain energy. Alright, so that covers that right there. And then next I want to put some results of what using the product helps a person, or how the product actually helps a person in real life. So I'm going to put some photos up here. This one here, And let's see. However you decide to make your ad, you want to make sure that it's uniform. So I guess I have a 3-picture theme going on, so I want to stick to that theme in this particular ad or this particular banner. I may change it up in another banner and do it a totally different way, but since I started off with 3 pictures, I kind of want to keep it uniform that way. So let's see, create that like that, create this one here, blow that up a little bit. That up a little, and it's just all about, you know, thinking, being creative, coming up with different ideas in your head of how you can do this, how you can make it look more creative. Nobody will have an ad like this, at least before I put this video up. Hopefully, if you see value in what I'm doing, you know, you can duplicate what I'm doing and creating your own particular ads. And let's see, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I'm just trying to make it look a little bit uniform. So I kind of have that right there. And the next thing I want to do is create a call to action. So I have a picture of a call button that I put at the bottom of my ads that tells the customer what to do, or the prospect what to do, which is take action, get started now. Put that right here at the bottom, and then I'll do another text with my website address, which will be www.skinnylivingsuccess.com, and make that a little bit bigger. I like to make my website address as big as possible, and I want to do that blue so it'll stand out. And let's see, stretch that out at the bottom. Okay, so we stretch that out, and let's move that up just a little bit. Move this up a little bit. So I have my call to action, I have my website address, and I try to make my website address the biggest thing on here so that if somebody's looking at it from a distance, they can at least see my website address and know that that's what they need to type into their browser in order to get access. I'm gonna add a little something else to this. Let's see. I'll actually show my product. I go to my desktop, pictures, where are we at here? There we go. Put that at the bottom. Whenever you have an image, you can always just copy it, and then you go to an area where you want to post it and just click paste, and then that image will appear again. And I kind of want to do that number right there and kind of line that up. I'm kind of taking a back look at this to make sure I have everything lined up correctly. And then there you go. And then I have my image. Shows the ingredients. I can make this a little bit smaller maybe. Let's see. It's always, you know, you're always gonna keep playing with it until you feel it's perfect for what you're doing. And I think just for training purposes that this is something that I'm going to create. Now this right here, it says Skinny Fiber has 3 natural plant-based ingredients that help you I guess I can make that a little bit shorter, help you lose weight. And then I'm showing the 3 based ingredients right here. I'm showing what's the name of these plants, and I'm giving a brief synopsis of actually what each plant item does. And then I'm showing some results of people who've taken the product and what their experience is with it and how it's helped them. So once I'm satisfied with this image, I can go ahead and use my screen capture tool, and I want to take a snapshot of everything that I just created. So I'm going to hover over everything, hold my left button down with my finger, drag it across the screen until I get everything that I want in the picture, and then I'll just lift my finger up. It saves that picture, and then I just file, save it, and save it to my folder on the desktop because I already have this folder open, and then click save. Now when I go to this folder, I can just go to my desktop, I can go to my training folder, and I know that this folder is saved here. Let's go to view. Where is it at? Right here. And then I can just preview it, see how it looks. So there you go. I have my ad. Skinny Fiber has 3 natural plant-based ingredients that help you lose weight. Now I can go ahead and post this on Facebook and then write my own text to explain this image, or just post this as my ad and just put my call to action in the text of my ad. Again, this was just a ad that I made on the fly. You can do it however you want to do it, but in this ad I'm showing results, and I'm showing what's actually in the product and giving a brief explanation of the product. It's not long. The text is not long. You can understand it. 5 seconds if you're looking at this, you can understand what I'm trying to get, what point I'm trying to get across. This product helps you to lose weight. These are the ingredients in the products. This is what the ingredients actually helps you to do, and then these are results from the product, and then this is your call to action. This is where you need to go to get started. Alright, so thanks again. This is Eli Peter. Sorry this video was a little bit longer than scheduled, but I hope I got my point across. Again, you can use this for any type of business that you're trying to promote. I just did it for Skinny Body Care because that's the business that I'm in. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my YouTube video, and also comment on the bottom, and I'll put the links on the bottom of this video to get those free software tools for the 15-day trial periods. Thanks again for watching, and you have an awesome day. Nice talking with you. Bye bye.